Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network this Saturday night. The Cars eSport Tour and the SNF Motorsports 200 in action at Richmond International Raceway for race number 8, part of the Cars eSport Tour and part of the 200 tonight. The late model stocks will take to the track first for their 100-lap feature. We'll have the super late models coming up a little bit later tonight. We're going to go to the playing of the national anthem. When we come back, we'll let you know who's the top of the series and what you can expect here at Richmond. So stay tuned, folks. We will be right back. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. However you're getting us, whether it is out there on YouTube live or on Cars Tour TV, we do thank you for tuning in for race number 8 in the Cars eSport Tour, the SNF Motorsports 200 here tonight at Richmond International Raceway. Late model stocks on the track, ready to go racing momentarily. Let's take a look at the track information. We saw triple digits during qualifying here earlier tonight, if you caught the qualifying action out on YouTube. Taking a look now out here on the track right now, 73 degrees in the air, 25% humidity, clear skies, and a matching track temperature of 73 degrees. It looks like they are raring and ready to go to the grid. Let's get down there and get that action for you. So on the grid, it is going to be the 69 of Matt Cucker starting in the pole position. The number 4 of Daniel Williamson will be to the outside of row number 1. Dylan Rowe, Josh Deeds will be in row number 2. Thomas Hazard rounding out your top 5 inside of row number 3. Jeremy Adams will be to the outside. Bryce Sinizak, Cody McCauley will be in the next positions. In row number 5, 63 of Brad Lawson will be the inside. At the outside and rounding out your top 10, the 31 of Brad Carpenter. Looking on back, Brad Wright, Stephen Matthews, Mason Dunn, Scott Naslin, Tanner Cook through 15, Jeff Hoggard, Austin Coop, Michael Chilton, Adam Rigo, Sean Miner through 20. And your field here tonight, Kyle Leverall, Robbie Bundon, David Cassidy, James Finn, and Byron Bartlett. And it looks like the Mustang iRacing pace car is ready to take them around. Into the backstretch here on the pace lap. And it looks like a little bit of lineup shuffle here. But the lights are off the pace car. Not exactly sure what's going on with the lineup here, folks, but they are getting it worked out. Dylan Rowe up front currently. Williamson to the outside. Here we go. Pace cars into the pits. Off of turn 4.
Green, green, green.
Green flag flies. Here we go. And we thought we were going to go to a race. Not quite sure what's going on here, folks. Green flag is out, but they are just still kind of figuring the lineup. We're going to go take a commercial break, folks. We get this figured out. We'll be right back.
Here at iRacing, we pride ourselves on interacting with our community and getting into the forums and seeing the discussions and doing surveys about what features and content, things that they want. It's been quite clear that one of the biggest features that people are looking for is dirt racing. You know, the first step in doing something like that was obviously our dynamic track project. It has set a great foundation for us to do a lot of different things with our surface going forward. With this dirt track project, it became evident that we needed to really become educated on what happens with dirt, not only the preparation of the track, but what happens to the surface as a race is going on. We've gotten in touch with the University of Northwestern Ohio, and there they have a terrific motorsports program, but they also have a big focus on dirt racing. They have their own dirt oval there called Lima Land. They actually have a dirt late model team and modified team as part of the curriculum for the school.
The university purchased the track for student involvement. They're out here for multiple purposes. We hold classes out here where they work on the vehicles that they build. We also have a motorsports team. They build, crew, and race the cars every Friday. So we have a huge involvement here at Lima Land Motorsports Park from the university.
And so we're sending Dan Garrison there to get educated and to learn what is different about dirt.
iRacing's traditionally done with asphalt. In that model, the track is, very stiff, and it's the tires that have the give and the bend. But when you start talking about a dirt track, the equation flips in that the track is the thing that gives and responds. That's going to be a big challenge, and it's something that we definitely want to get right.
Everybody wants different racetracks. Personally, I like faster racetracks. A dirt track fast is when you keep the moisture in it and don't let it get real hard on you. If you let it get real hard, it's just like cement. You cannot water cement. You put water on it, the water runs off. The racetrack has got to absorb the water. You got to keep a hard pan below it, but keep the loose stuff on top to make it fast.
The thing about dirt racing that I like the most is there's probably 20 other competitors on the track, but I was always taught by Mr. Knott, a guy that gave me my first sprint car ride, you're racing the racetrack. You're not racing the 20 other guys in that feature race, and you're constantly got the car in a slide. You're turning right to go fast. You have to figure the racetrack out and get your car to where it handles the best on the dirt.
It's good to kind of actually get to a racetrack that's working condition and be able to see, okay, this is how the soil behaves and this is what it's like. And
Brian Keselowski has worked hard to get that youngster where he needs to be, and it's certainly showing here tonight as we watch Chase Purdy, Ryan Wilson, Craig Moore again further back that paddle. Every time we take our eyes off of it, it continues to get a little bit better, a little bit better, and a little bit crazy. Everybody's starting to back up behind him now as these two still cannot find a way around one another and disperse and dispense of one another. Leaning on the 12 of Wilson now is Chase Purdy. Contact out of turn number 4. Chase Purdy, I think, is getting very upset with Ryan Wilson, or at least losing his patience in the situation. And Wilson, I'm sure, is in the exact same boat. Craig Moore has already had one spin tonight. He does not want to go through another, particularly with contact, I'm sure. Look at those two cars leaning on one another as they head towards the start-finish line. R.D. Smith starting to make his way forward in that group as well. Problems, big trouble, turn 3. And it finally came to a head. Watch out, Craig Stallard, nowhere to go. R.D. Smith starting to make his way forward in that group as well. Problems, big trouble, turn 3. And it finally came to a head. Watch out, Craig Stallard, nowhere to go. Ryan Wilson's out of his race car, and he's not going to be very happy, I do not think, with Chase Purdy. He's walking up to the front of the race car. And Ryan Wilson, he's got something in his hand. I'm not sure what, but it's probably going to be airborne here momentarily. Not happy with Chase Purdy. Oh, look at this. Apparently he thinks Chase Purdy couldn't use his head. And now he's going to go into the race car and throw some punches at Chase Purdy. Ryan Wilson throwing punches at Chase Purdy. He's ripped the window net down in the 41 car.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, this Saturday night to the Cars eSport Tour SNF Motorsports 200 here at Richmond International Raceway. A little bit of a lineup hiccup tonight. The normal race control not out there as we are coming back under caution. It looks like James Fenn, the number 61, was involved in it. But we are back nevertheless. This is race number 8. And making our way into Richmond International Raceway this Saturday night, Josh Dietz with a 51-point lead over Tanner Cook for the series points lead. They will get an extra week. Instead of ending next week on the 18th, we will extend out to the 25th with the South Boston race that was supposed to take place earlier, but due to a banquet, pretty much relegated to the end of the schedule. And it looks like Tanner Cook getting a wave around there. So Cody McCauley tonight is up front, total of 16 laps led. Of course, Dylan Rowe had a lap led at the beginning before they got the lineup shuffle corrected. And it looks like there is another driver getting a wave around. That's the 89 of Jeremy Adams. So anticipating the lights coming off the pace car as they come off of turn number 4. Should be back green on lap number 21. Let's make it lap 22. Get an extra one in there, why don't we? Here's a look at your current race summary. We'll throw it up there for you. One lead change here tonight, one total caution so far. Taking a look at your running top 5, it is Cody McCauley, Matt Cucker, Daniel Williamson, Josh Dietz, Brad Lawson is your standing top 5. And, of course, Josh Dietz back there in 4th, your series points leader, as mentioned earlier. As the Mustang iRacing pace car crosses that start-finish line, we see the lights come off. We'll bunch up double file with the 1-to-go signal. We'll be back green on lap 22. Lights off the pace car in the backstretch. It'll be hitting pit road on the entry point to turn number 4. The 62 of Cody McCauley, the 69 of Matt Cucker, your front 2. Ready to go back green. Here they come off of the 4th turn. Green flag flies. We're back to the race. And a little bit of contact between Dietz and Williamson through turn number 2. And we got 4-5 wide. Somebody's trying to save it. 3 wide action out of turn number 4, near 4 wide. Hazard and Matthews at it. Stephen Matthews to the inside of the number 5, and Thomas Hazard to the high side. That is the number 90 car of Bryce Sinizak. Matthews is going to swing by to the inside. Boy, are they fighting for everything. Brad Wright, the number 48 machine, coming down to the inside right in front of the 91 of Stephen Matthews. Matthews is going to take a look as they cross the start-finish line into lap number 24. He's going to go to the inside of Wright. He'll have that lower line. Side-by-side action between the 2 drivers in the backstretch. Here comes Thomas Hazard. Hazard looking to the inside of Brad Wright in 3 and 4. He's going to bring the 33 of Scott Naslund with him, but Naslin's going to get a little push. He's not going to have the line that he wants. Wright has the opportunity to come back down before turn 1, but now Scott Naslund is going to make his way up to the inside of the 48. Side-by-side action for the race lead, and now Matt Cucker has taken over the race lead from the 62 of Cody McCauley. McCauley just not able to hold the line, but the 69 car, Matt Cucker, is going to work the lower mid groove through turns 1 and 2. Pulls away to a little over 1/10 of a second gap between him and McCauley. Back in 3rd is the number 9 of Josh Dietz. That Victoria's Secret machine off of turn 4, looking about 3/4 of a second behind Cucker as they head into turn number 1. Into the backstretch they go. Dylan Rowe looking to the inside. He's going to have a little battle there with the 63 of Brad Lawson. Lawson not even going to give him any contest there. Allows the 58 to go by on the inside. And now Dylan Rowe looking to run down the 49 of Jeff Hoggard. Into the front stretch. Crossing that start-finish line into lap number 29 is the 69 of Matt Cucker. 4 laps led here for the 69. McCauley has led 23 Dylan Rowe, of course, has a lap lead in the mix as well. Single file action. McCauley settled up in second position. I think he's going to let Cooker have the lead for a while before giving him any more of a fight. He's got plenty to go. It'll be 70 to go, actually, at the start-finish line the next time around. Josh Dietz still about 3/4 of a second behind the number 69 car. Back there in third. As we take a look at Jeff Hoggard in fifth position. Dylan Rowe closing the gap on him. About 70 laps to go in the late model stock feature here tonight at Richmond. Still to come later, a 100-lap feature with the super lates. And right behind it, we got a nice little 3-car battle here as Jeremy Adams trying to catch up, looking to the inside now with the number 10 of David Cassidy. Bryce Senizak, the 90 car, just ahead. Adams looking to the inside of Senizak through 2. He's going to try to have him cleared in the backstretch. He'll have it. Senizak will stay to the high side. Cassidy now looking to work back to the inside of the 90. Right behind him is the 92 of Sean Miner. Brad Carpenter having a little battle here with Tanner Cook. Cook looking to get into 13th position. He's looking to the inside of the 31 of Carpenter as they work their way through 3 and 4. Carpenter to the high side has the momentum. He's going to swing over right in front of the 96 of Tanner Cook into turns 1 and 2. And now Dylan Rowe and Jeff Hoggard. Nice little battle there. Behind them, though, Stephen Matthews door locked with the 63 of Lawson into turn 1. Matthews looked like he's going to edge him out here coming off of turn 2. He's got 3/4 of a car right over him. And into turn 3, the high line prevailing here. Turns 3 and 4 brings the 63 of Lawson back side by side with Matthews. Crossing that start-finish line, and they are having a great fight here into lap number 36. They will still continue to battle it out here, folks. And it looks like Matthews is going to win on the low side. He gets a little bit loose. The rear end's coming around. Oh, and it finally snaps. Matthews regains control at the start-finish line, but too late, too little. The 63 of Brad Lawson has gone around into 7th position, and now he's got a whole heap of a car packed right there behind him as Mason Dunn and company brings up Thomas Hazard, Michael Chilton, and Scott Naslin. Matthews will hold on to it, though, and now the 26 of Mason Dunn back behind him in that new Sundrop paint scheme he's got there, looking really solid here tonight. Back to single file action, and how about this? Matt Cooker holding on to 13 laps led tonight. Crossing that start-finish line makes it 14 into lap number 39. Cody McCauley about 0.3 of a second gap behind him. Josh Dietz holding on about to a 3/4 of a second lead, or gap, I should say, behind your race leader. Dylan Rowe looking to the inside of Daniel Williamson. The battle for 4th, the number 4 in 4th position. Here comes the 58 of Rowe. He's looking to the inside. Believes he has a faster line. He's going to take a peek inside, possibly make a move on turn 3. As he dives down underneath, Williamson's trying to get there, not going to be able to do it. Here comes the 58 of Dylan Rowe off of turn 4. Of course, the high line prevailing across the front stretch keeps Williamson in 4th. And now Dylan Rowe begins to work to the inside. A push from Williamson will send the 58 of Dylan Rowe up into 4th position. Daniel Williamson will fall back to 5th, but he's not going to go away easily. Sticking with the bumper of the 58 of Dylan Rowe. Heading towards lap number 42 as they cross the start-finish line. And Dylan Rowe now begins to pull away from Williamson. Take a look at your race leader here, Matt Cooker. About to claim lap number 18 lead, but right on the bumper of McCauley is your series points leader, Josh Dietz. He's going to take a shot to the inside here in turns 1 and 2, looking for a second position pickup. McCauley not going to fight with him there. He's going to allow the 9 by, and Josh Dietz now moves into second position. Of course, Dietz here tonight starting 4th on the grid. Takes the Victoria's Secret machine up into second, and now begins to close the gap here as we're reaching closer and closer to the halfway point of tonight's feature. Stephen Matthews back there behind Brad Lawson. About 4/10, close to a half a second, but he is closing the gap there on the 63 car. How about Jeff Hoggard? Hoggard tonight, the 49 machine, in right there behind the 4 of Williamson, starting 16th. He's up 10 spots into 6th, and now he's putting pressure on the 4 of Williamson with the battle for 5th position here into lap number 46. Hoggard's looking to the inside. Williamson has fallen off the pace with the 58 of Dylan Rowe, and the continued push from the 4 car only means it's a matter of time before an inside opportunity for the 49 of Hoggard to pass. As we follow the 49 of Jeff Hoggard into the backstretch, he's really trying to drive the wheels off this car. Will he get his opportunity in 3? Not this time by, as Williamson protects the inside from the 49 as Jeff Hoggard was trying to dive it underneath him, heading into 3. He ended up having to back off just a little bit. Back behind him, Stephen Matthews now climbing right to the back of Brad Lawson out of turn number 2. Little battle going on here for 7th position. That's CBC Racing 91 off of turn 4. We'll look for an inside opportunity here as they head into turn 1. Not going to take it. Just really staying hooked to the 63 currently. Hoggard looks like he's going to make his move. Looks to the inside yet again. Boy, is Williamson really trying to hold on to it. As they head into turn 1, here comes Stephen Matthews. Matthews now to the inside. He's going to pass Brad Lawson out of 2. Jeff Hoggard looking for an inside pass. Finally into 3. He's going to force the 4 of Williamson up the track. To the inside comes the 49 of Hoggard, and Hoggard is going to look for a 5th position pickup at the start-finish line, but the 4 of Williamson will have the nose over it as we cross the halfway point. Into the back half of the 100-lap feature here at Richmond now, folks. Your race leader, the number 69 of Matt Cucker, 26 laps led, now about to pick up 27, has a current lead of about 4/10 of a second over the number 9 of Josh Dietz. And a flurry of cars as Hoggard looking to run down Williamson. He was looking to get underneath him. A little hiccup there in turns 1 and 2, and now Williamson swinging to the high side. I believe he's found something on that outside groove. Look at that momentum. Just fires away from the 49 of Hoggard. He's not going to run the same line. He's going to keep it high, where a lot of the drivers have laid some rubber down in that lower groove, and now Williamson is really holding on to it. Oh, and Hoggard's going to tag the wall out of 2. Keep an eye on this 4 car as he's going to run the high line yet again. Off of 4, and look at that momentum. That's going to bring the 49 of Hoggard up. I believe he realizes now. And the caution flag is going to come out, and it looks like Mason Dunn is involved in this one. Let's go back and take a look. As we follow Mason Dunn through the track. Scott Naslin looking to the inside, and as they fight for that lower groove, can only imagine What this is going to do, possibly coming off of turn 4, we're going to see some contact between Naslund. Maybe gets the 26 of Dunn loose. A little helping hand there. Just enough to nudge the 26 around, and he's going to be loose right out of turn 4. Naslund's going to go up into the wall. Luckily, the safer barrier there is going to help out. Tanner Cook's going to swing by, as well as Jeremy Adams to the outside. And Mason Dunn trying to stay on the throttle there to get out of harm's way as Brad Carpenter goes by. See it there, and he'll get turned around. That'll bring out your second caution flag here for the late model stocks. So that will reel in Josh Dietz to Matt Cucker. It'll put him on the outside when we go back green. Of course, Cody McCauley will now have to face Dylan Rowe to the outside. Dylan Rowe's been getting faster as this race has progressed. And how about Jeff Hoggart and Daniel Williamson? Those two cars have been battling it out. So they're going to be in side by side. Keep an eye on this 91 of Stephen Matthews. He's also been picking up some speed as this race has progressed. Of course, we look at the damage report coming up. We see the 48 of Brad Wright, James Finn, the 61 machine. Both those cars now looking to put their cars away into the haulers. They have called it quits here. You still see Kyle Leveralt, Byron Bartlett down on pit road, as well as Robbie Bunden. Not sure we're going to see him back out on the track, but they are sitting down on pit road. And again, as mentioned before, have 2 more races remaining in the Cars eSport Tour schedule. South Boston was the race that was moved back due to an event that pushed it back. Next week, we will see Lanier National Speedway for 150 laps. And of course, the final race on the 25th, South Boston Speedway for 150 laps. That's all that's left in the Cars eSport Tour here. Drivers definitely fighting for every position in the remaining races, trying to maximize their points before the championship lineup is doled out. So we will be back green on lap number 60. Just about 41 laps remaining in this race. Matt Cucker will take us back to green. Josh Dietz will be to the outside. Macaulay Rowe, your front 4. Here we go. Pace car into the pits as they work their way through turn 4. Flagman ready to give the signal. And he waves it. Green flag flies. We're back to the race. Josh Dietz is going to edge out the field here and hold on to second, but what a battle for third between Rowe and McCauley. Rowe's going to stay to the outside. McCauley looking for a little bit of help there from Rowe. Rowe's going to swing by the outside. He's going to move into third now. And boy, it's a whole heck of a fight back here as now Matthews right behind Williamson looking to battle for fifth. He's going to look to the inside of the 4 machine as they come down the backstretch to the inside. Not going to have it this time by Daniel Williamson's going to hold on to it. Nice little 3-car battle, and Thomas Hazard right is going to be finished off by both Bryce Sinizak and Brad Carpenter. They didn't have anywhere to go. Boy, did he get loose off of turn number 4. as we follow the 5 of Thomas Hazard. And it looks like it's going to be a quick jolt contact from the 97 car that is going to send Hazard up the track. That is Michael Chilton, the newcomer, and bam, right there, a smack from Sinizak sends him, pushes the 5 car right in front of Carpenter. And boy, Mason Dunn barely missing the contact. Will sneak by a little bit of agricultural action there. And both Carpenter and Hazard flying to the infield. That number 5 machine looks really banged up. Of course, we'll take you back and we'll show you one more look at it. Perspective here of Michael Chilton. Go on board here. Right there, Hazard right in front is going to look to the high side. There's just a little bump. It was just fighting for the same line, it appeared. So as we pace around here on lap 64, let's take a look at your race summary. Cooker has been up front of the field. He's got 39 laps led, soon to pick up 40 here. 2 lead changes tonight, 3 total cautions. Current running top 5, Matt Cooker, Josh Dietz, Dylan Rowe, Cody McCauley, and Daniel Williamson. Of course, there is a little bit of issue there. Williamson being showed in 6th. Stephen Matthews shows in 5th position. But as we cross the start-finish line, the lights come off the pace car, and there you have it. Williamson in 5th. Matthews will be outside in 6th. It'll be lap 67 when we get to green. Josh Dietz, another opportunity to fight with the 69 for the race lead. Keep an eye on Dylan Rowe and Cody McCauley. Dylan Rowe tonight really determined for a top 3 finish, currently sitting in 3rd. McCauley, of course, looking to fight that battle as well. Here we go. Pace car into the pits. Rowe ready to go, and boy, is Cooker not going. Green flag flies right at the start-finish line. Matt Cooker not getting on the throttle. Josh Dietz anticipating an early restart. And now McCauley forced his way down to the inside, pushing Dylan Rowe back into 4th position. McCauley looking to fight. He's going to keep Josh Dietz up the track. Looking for an inside pass coming off of 4. Dietz will have the momentum to the high side. Boy, is he barely holding on to 2nd position now, but Cody McCauley into the inside. Dylan Rowe finally gets down into the lower groove. He is still holding on to 4th. Josh Dietz going to be forced up to the wall by Cody McCauley. Into turn number 3, Matt Cooker. A 0.2 of a second race lead as we see Cody McCauley and Josh Dietz with a little bit of contact out of 4. And now McCauley to the inside. Daniel Williamson and Stephen Matthews side by side as well behind Dylan Rowe. They are battling it out for 5th position as we continue to follow McCauley to the inside of Dietz, who's looking to clear him. Near 3 wide action. Dylan Rowe sneaking by on the low side, forcing McCauley in the middle groove. 3 wide action in the battle for second. Dylan Rowe looks like he's going to edge that one out. He'll have second position in the backstretch. Can he carry it with him into third? As we see Josh Dietz swings way up to the high side. McCauley's going to go by as well. Now Dietz back to fourth. Williamson looking to the inside in turn 1. Oh, and Josh Dietz forcing a little bit of controversy there. Right in front of Williamson, forcing Williamson down on the apron. Dylan Rowe, of course, having some issues there. He's going to have a little bit of contact with the 63 machine of Brad Lawson. So Dylan Rowe falls back to 6th. McCauley holding on to second position, back behind. Josh Dietz rallies back for third. And now Lawson passes Matthews to the inside, and Mason Dunn will slide around again in the backstretch. That's enough to bring out the caution flag here again. Let's go back and take a look. As we follow the number 26 of Mason Dunn. Right in front of the 49 of Hoggard. And Hoggard, nice little helping hand there, is going to spin around the 26 of Dunn right to the apron before he gets finished off out of 2. Little T-bone action there from the 49 of Jeff Hoggard. Cars will get locked up. So the night getting easier here with the cautions coming out for the 69 of Matt Cucker. Here we see Brad Carpenter getting a wave around the pace car. Carpenter will get back on the lead lap. So Dylan Rowe currently sitting in 5th position. I only can imagine he's going to have a little bit of distance to catch Matt Cucker, but he's really looking for that 62 of McCauley. As right as we were showing you the battle with Williamson, McCauley and Rowe had got into it coming off of turn 2 and forced the 58 up to the high side. Of course, Josh Dietz wiping the nose of Daniel Williamson, forcing him to the apron. They were fighting for the lower groove at the time. So 25 laps remain here at Richmond for the late model stock feature. And again, coming up later, still have a 100 lap feature for the super late model division. We appreciate your viewership this Saturday night here on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network and our coverage of the Cars eSport Tour SNF Motorsports 200 here at Richmond International Raceway. Josh Dietz will be in the line that he's wanted all night long. The lower groove. Question is, will he be able to hold off the 62 of McCauley and keep him to the outside? Light should be off the pace car this time by as they cross the start-finish line. It'll be lap 78 when we get the green flag. Here we go. Pace car set to go into the pits. Cucker, McCauley out front. Lawson to the outside of Dietz. And they get on it. There goes Cucker. Dietz.
Green flag, green flag.
And Dylan Rowe back behind Josh Dietz. Josh Dietz moves into second position and affirms it into turn 3. McCauley right in front of Rowe, and we may see a little bit of payback here from Dylan Rowe to Cody McCauley as they make contact at the start-finish line. A little bit of loose action there from Cody McCauley. Dylan Rowe says, I'm going to try to move for third now. He'll take the 63 of Brad Lawson with him. Lawson's going to climb the track. Dylan Rowe now in third, got the payback that he was wanting. A little bit of contact there with McCauley. McCauley is going to fall back to fourth. Jeremy Adams, Stephen Matthews having a little battle here into 1. Adams looking to the inside of the 91 of Matthews. Matthews swings by the high side. Sean Miner tonight. How about this? 92 car in the top 10. Michael Chilton, the 97, looking to the inside of Tanner Cook as they continue to have a little side-by-side battle. And back from the depths comes the number 5 of Thomas Hazard to be side-by-side with Tanner Cook. Matthews and Adams going at it in turns 1 and 2. Adams to the inside as he edges out the 91 of Sean Matthews. Dylan Rowe now looking to beat Josh Dietz off of 4. Dietz to the high side. And that time around, it'll give the 58 second position. Let's see what he's got out of 2. He's got it. He's edged out, but boy, is Dietz on the bumper of Dylan Rowe. Dangerous place if you're going to be in front of Josh Dietz. He has no qualms about putting bumper-to-bumper action on you. Crossing the start-finish line into lap number 83. Dylan Rowe in second now. Matt Cucker, your race leader, over a 3/4 second lead over the 58 of Dylan Rowe. McCauley has fallen back to 4th. Of course, we see the 63 of Brad Lawson in 5th. And a whole slew of single-file action cars back behind him. And it's now Stephen Matthews trying to change that on Jeremy Adams. He took a peek to the inside heading into turn 1. The 97 of Chilton back there in 8th. Back behind Tanner Cook, Scott Naslin has a fight going on with David Cassidy. As Cassidy in the Caterpillar number 10 machine looking to the inside of the 33. He's going to try to beat him into 1 to the low side. Here comes Cassidy. He's to the inside of Naslin, keeping the 33 to the high side. He'll gain some real estate. Oh, a little wiggle action there from Tanner Cook. And oh my, the battle up here with Stephen Matthews holding off. Tried to hold off Jeremy Adams. And now he's got to worry about the 97 of Michael Chilton. Again, will fight to the low groove. A little block action there from the 91 of Matthews. As Chilton was looking to the inside, Matthews said, I'm not having any of that. Once again, Chilton's going to take a look to the inside, but Matthews will block it into 3. Protecting that inside, and now he's trying to climb his bumper to the 89 of Jeremy Adams. How about the 3-wide action back here into 1? Tanner Cook to the high side, Scott Naslin in the middle, David Cassidy, and almost a little bit of contact between Naslin and Cook. Naslin will speed in the lower groove. Cook to the high side. Mason Dunn, the 26 machine, looks a little bit beat there on the left side. And whoa! And we see some sparks fly for the 96 of Tanner Cook as he made contact with the wall. Back up towards the front. Josh Dietz following behind the 58 of Dylan Rowe in 3rd. Mason Dunn on the move back in 12th position. Working that lower groove has Jeff Hoggard behind him. Tanner Cook falling back into 13th. May see 14th here if Hoggard can get by him in turn 3. Next time by, it's going to be 10 laps to go. Mason Dunn trying to hold on as Tanner Cook's found some momentum on the outside line. And boy, are they running close Stephen Matthews back behind Jeremy Adams cannot find an opportunity to pass. 10 laps to go for your race leader, the 69 of Matt Cucker. 65 laps led here tonight. Needs the final 10. Dylan Rowe back in second, about 6/10 behind him, close to 7/10 behind him. With 9 to go, we see Josh Dietz falling a little bit off the pace to Dylan Rowe. Dylan Rowe really trying to turn it up. Don't know if Dylan Rowe has enough for Matt Cucker. And boy, did Josh Dietz with a heavy push out of 2 really fight for the wall. Keep the car off the wall. McCauley is solid in 4th. Here's Brad Lawson. Right behind Lawson, it's been a heavy battle between these two guys all night, the 89 of Jeremy Adams and the 91 of Stephen Matthews. Matthews now taking a look to the inside. It's a drag race down the backstretch, and whoa, did Jeremy Adams really swing it into the lower groove, and you can tell that Matthews is not happy about that. Wow. Aggressive move from the 89 of Jeremy Adams, and he does not want this 91 car to pass, and he's going to again fight for the bottom groove. A little bit of lap car in the mix may shake things up. Adams swings by as we see Lawson run to the high side of the 7 machine. Of course, that's Kyle Leveralt. 6 laps to go here at Richmond for the late model stocks. They're part of the SNF Motorsports 200. Down the backstretch, Matthews now finds himself a passing opportunity on Adams. Boy, are they door locked off of 4. Side-by-side action across the start-finish line. Jeremy Adams will swing it wide. Stephen Matthews now has the opportunity to move into 6th. Contact! Oh, Adams is going to go up in the wall. Matthews bounces off of him. They're going to be back side by side into 3, and a crossover move from Jeremy Adams, and a big hit from the 91 of Matthews off of the turn 4 wall. Jeremy Adams is going to be in 6th. What a save by the 91 of Stephen Matthews to hold on to 9th. He'll be behind David Cassidy, and with 4 laps to go, that was incredible. What a save by Stephen Matthews, and how about that crossover move into 4 by Jeremy Adams? Really changed the racecraft there of Stephen Matthews at the last second. Now catching lap traffic with about less than 3 to go. Matt Cucker now has Dylan Rowe on his bumper. Less than a quarter second behind him with 2 laps to go. The next time by, it's going to be the white flag. Sinizak, the high car up to the high side there, and Robbie Bunden now out on the track. Slowing up Cucker just a bit, helping out there, the 58 of Dylan Rowe. Ladies and gentlemen, as they come through turn 4, they're going to see the white flag here at Richmond. 1 more lap to go. White flag in the air. Dylan Rowe looking to the inside of Cucker. He's going to turn him. Oh my. That's going to bring Josh Dietz by. Wow, 3 white action. Sinizak goes to the apron. Here is your series points leader by virtue of patience tonight. We'll pick up victory at Richmond International Raceway for the SNF Motorsports 200 in the late model stocks for the Cars eSport Tour. 2 drivers eager to fight for the race lead, Dylan Rowe and Matt Cucker. Boy, was that a dramatic finish to what should have been Matt Cucker's race tonight. 69 having 74 laps led. Wow. Josh Dietz. Little inside the field victory burnout for you. Josh Dietz. Wow, just making a little bit of contact there. And brace yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, for the interviews coming up for this one. They're going to be interesting. As we look to bring up the results on the screen for you. pardon our graphic here. We'll get that worked out, but this is the race results, not qualifying results. Had a little bit of issue here on our software. Josh Dietz taking victory tonight. Dylan Rowe, Cody McCauley in third. Matt Cucker and Brad Lawson, your front five. Let's take a look real quick here. We got some driver interviews to get for you. Finishing third here tonight, we're going to go live now with the 62 of Cody McCauley. Cody McCauley Racing, the sponsor on that late model stock. And I tell you what, it was a hard-fought battle here for you tonight, battling with Dylan Rowe. And at the end, you're able to get around him. Or Matt Cucker, unfortunately, will finish, who had led a lot of the laps here tonight. But you guys, right around you three cars, have had a hard-fought battle, especially with the 58 of Dylan Rowe. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, we had a great number 62 Pruitt Team Chevrolet that come tonight, and car was really, really fast early, and we planned on getting more rubber on the racetrack, and it just kind of got away from us. We fought awful hard with Josh Dietz, Dylan Rowe, and then was able to there at the end to capitalize on Coker and get a third place finish, which we're satisfied with. I'm more than happy with how we finished. We definitely didn't have a third place car.
Tell us, let's take us back to turns 1 and 2 here on the white flag lap. You see the issue ahead with Rowe and Cucker as they kind of get into it a little bit. What kind of decision? We saw Sinizak take the apron there to avoid contact. What was going through your mind at that to say, how can I capitalize on this, or what route do I need to take to be able to get around the incident that was just ahead of you?
Well, Spotter was telling me, they had contact, and we drove into 1 and 2 just like normal. We were into 3 and 4 a little bit and tried to capitalize and get a little low. Caught the apron. After that, it was just kind of a dog fight towards the finish line. But we were able to come away with it, and definitely happy with tonight's performance.
All right. Was there any thanks or shout out you'd like to give for your third place finish here tonight at Richmond?
Special shout out to Troy Lent for sitting on the box for me tonight. Put together a great piece. All the guys back at Cody McCauley Racing. And special shout out to PruittTeam.com.
All right. Congratulations, Cody. We look forward to seeing you next week in the late model stocks at Lanier.
Thank you.
All right, folks, we're going to go live now. So probably one of the most controversial drivers of the night here tonight. Definitely some good hard-fought battling with this 58 machine as he took it around the track 100 times here tonight. And I tell you what, it looks like you made some friends here tonight, Dylan. Tell us a little bit about that final white flag lap.
I gotta apologize to Matt. But it was definitely faster. And it was a white flag, so you gotta go for it. And that's just racing.
What was the strategy there heading into 1? Were you looking to get underneath him, or what was going to be your ideal? What kind of thoughts were you taking in there? How you're going to try to get around the 69?
Yeah, I thought I had a nose underneath him, and I'm not exactly sure if I did or didn't, but obviously he didn't think I was underneath him. Not an inch was given. There's the result.
All right. Well, do you have any thanks or shout-outs you'd like to get for your runner-up finish here tonight at Richmond?
I'd like to thank Team Vince here and Iron Lies. I'd like to wish my mom a happy birthday.
All right. Congratulations in finishing second here tonight at Richmond in the late model stocks. We look forward to seeing you next week at Lanier National Speedway.
Okay, appreciate it.
All right, folks, we're going to go live now with your series points leader and race winner here tonight, Josh Dietz of the Victoria's Secret Global Com machine, as he's able to surpass the incident in turns 1 and 2 with the contact between Dylan Rowe and Matt Cucker as they were fighting for the race lead on the white flag lap. And Josh, tell you about a third position car all night here tonight. You had second position for a while there. Dylan Rowe was able to get around you. Tell us a little bit about that, and then what your thoughts were heading into that white flag lap.
Yeah, I think we were faster early on, and then through that long run we had there, I think I had something for Matt there. I was saving my stuff pretty good, but then at one point I was on the outside fighting pretty hard, and after that the tires just wasn't there. And I saw Dylan was a little faster than me, so I figured I'd just let him pass. And I was hoping for a caution in that last 20 laps. That way it put me on an inside for a restart. And didn't happen, but I don't really know what happened up there. But I know we're all teammates, so I don't think anything was intentional there.
All right, well, you pick up another victory here in the series. Helping out, you had a 51-point lead over Tanner Cook coming into tonight. Next week, we got 2 weeks left. We'll see Lanier and South Boston, the final 2 races on the schedule. Can you give us a preview on what we can expect? Are we going to see any other victories here this season, or what's your thoughts on the final 2 races?
Well, those are my 2 best tracks. So on this whole service, that is probably my 2 best tracks. We've been struggling a lot lately. I've been back in school, haven't had time to test or anything like that. But I have a lot of people that help me out, Jeremy and Dylan and Matt and everybody. We all make a pretty good setup even when I'm not there to be able to work on it. So I got to thank them.
Well, congratulations on another victory here in the late model stocks for the Cars eSport Tour. Look forward to seeing the number 9 back in action coming up next week at Lanier National Speedway.
Thank you.
All right, folks, we're going to have a wild card interview for you. We got to come in and talk to this. Wouldn't want to do disservice to our audience out there. I'm sure everybody out there gasping for air, watching you head into turn 1, Matt, and you and Dylan Rowe, of course, Dylan Rowe trying to get underneath you, unfortunately, will turn you in turns 1 and 2. You led 74 laps here tonight. Car really looked like it was on a rail, looked like it was running solid. Dylan was running you down at the instant. Of course, the caution's not helping you out here tonight either. But tell us a little bit about your car and take us through that white flag lap.
I mean, all night long, the car was great. It wasn't getting tight. It wasn't getting loose. I was just riding around trying to save my tires. And, I don't know, going in that white flag, I was protecting the middle of the track, waiting for that dive bomb. And, well, he did it way later than anyone I've ever seen do it. And that's what happens. You just get turned, and there was nothing I could do.
Definitely a heartbreak night. You are able to rally the car back. Tell us, after that had happened, what was the mindset there to get the car back on track to come and pull into a 4th place finish here at Richmond?
I mean, I knew we had a pretty solid lead, so as soon as I got turned sideways, I just dropped it down in the 2nd gear, trying to get it back straight. And then we had a drag race down a back stretch, and then going into 3, I was going to cross him over, but Cody was there, and I mean, Cody got in contact. That was totally my fault there because I was trying to cross Dylan over, but before that, I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm just sitting here lost.
Well, I guess the positive on the night, of course, Tanner Cook, 51 points behind Josh Dietz. You find yourself back in 3rd, about 65 points behind Josh Dietz. You get a 4th place finish here tonight. Tanner Cook finishes 10th. You're only about 6 points, 14 points. I can get my math right. 14 points behind Tanner Cook coming in tonight, so the points help. Final 2 races coming up. We got Lanier and South Boston. What can you tell us about those final 2 races and the mindset of the 69 team?
Well, we're just going to go out and try to win. I mean, that's all we've been doing this whole time, and it's been paying off here and there. I mean, we were going for a 2nd win, and then just that unfortunate event on the last lap. So a 1st, 2 seconds, and a 4th, I guess we'll have to move on and go for it next week.
All right, well, heck of a job to get that car turned around to be able to finish 4th here tonight. We look forward to seeing you in action next week at Lanier.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it, folks. What a dramatic finish for the late model stocks as Josh Dietz able to pick up victory. Dylan Rowe, Cody McCauley, Matt Cooker, Brad Lawson, your top 5, Jeremy Adams, Thomas Hazard, David Cassidy, Stephen Matthews, Tanner Cook, your top 10. As we look on back, Mason Dunn, Scott Naslin, Jeff Hoggard, Michael Chilton, Adam Rigo, Brad Carpenter, Bryce Sinizak, Sean Biner, Daniel Williamson, Robbie Bunden through 20. Brad Wright, Byron Bartlett, Kyle Leverall, James Finn, your 24-car field here for the late model stocks. Coming up next, we have the Super Lates in action as they will finish off the second half of the SNF Motorsports 200 here at Richmond International Raceway. You want to stay tuned. We'll bring that action to you here momentarily.
Josh Berry and Myatt Snyder will lead the field off of turn number 4 through the Circle Track Warehouse start zone, and we are off and racing here at Concord. lap number 1, led by Myatt Snyder. And Snyder up ahead of Josh Berry. And look at this, he's picking up exactly where he left off a little bit ago. And I don't think Josh Berry is scared to let him set the pace of this race, Matt. Myatt slipped right there in turn 1. And look at this. In about lap number 4, Josh Berry is going to go down to the inside of Myatt Snyder. And look who he's bringing with him, Matt. Justin Carroll, the local hero here that is from Concord. And he's making a bit for second as they head into turn number 1. Snyder forced to give him a little bit of room, but really good to see Justin Carroll having a solid run here in the very early going as he battles with Snyder back off into turn number 3.
Absolutely. And like I said earlier, look at the way they race in the backstretch.
That's not a good thing if you're Craig Stallard because you really want to have a solid run. Now, his team owner, Tommy Lemons, isn't really making up a lot of room either, but this guy is. Deep McCaskill trying to work his way around Chris Davis as they head by the start-finish line. McCaskill has not bad time, but not spectacular time. He's only being scored right now, Deep McCaskill is, in the 15th slot. Pulls away from Snyder, pulls away from Davis, but there's a pretty sizable gap from Deep McCaskill to the next car in line, which is actually number 28, both of those drivers, but he's not really sure where to go. Look at the contact over in turn number 3. That sends Lane Riggs up the hill slightly, just enough so that Austin McDaniel can get underneath him. And like he passed Christian Eckes earlier, Austin McDaniel gets around Lane Riggs, and that opens the door for Christian Eckes here on lap number 30 to move himself into the top 5. So McDaniel to 4th, Eckes up into the top 5 and 5th, Lane Riggs back to 6th in the course of one lap. So Craig Stallard and Chris Hudspeth. That's a battle for position immediately ahead of the leader. Looks like Hudspeth might make this happen pretty quickly, but that could have been a bit of a hiccup. Oh, watch out. Hello, Chris Hudspeth. That's not what Josh Berry wanted to see in front of him.
No, right there in front of him.
You know, I can't continue to harp anymore on the success of Justin Carroll. And this is what you like to see when you come to one of these races, Matt. You like to see a kid who doesn't have a multi-million-dollar budget. They don't have a chance to come out here and test and do all these things. And you know what? I don't even know what their budget was for tires today, but it wouldn't surprise me to have one set on that car, and that's the set that's on it. And the kid knows the racetrack. He knows his race car. He knows what to expect because he's run a couple of cars to events. And here he is in the waning stages with 27 laps to go. Justin Carroll is running second. By far the race of his career, and I guarantee if we talked to him, he would probably say the same thing. Yeah. Look at that. Look who has found each other. Oh, wait, Tommy Lemons made up a spot with Lane Riggs. That moves Lemons to 7th. McCaskill now to 8th. Riggs back to 9th. But now they've caught one another. Deke McCaskill, who started 20th, is up to 8th. And he might have a shot at 7th here if he can get around Tommy Lemons. This is the best battle on the racetrack by far, and really about the only battle at this stage for position. No, he's not going to give it away to him very easily, but look at him. He's already fishtailing. He's got the thing to the mat, and I don't think Tommy Lemons is saving anything at this juncture. In fact, he slipped up there in turn number 1. Deke McCaskill looks to the inside. Battle for position number 7, and McCaskill from 20th now to 7th at the completion of lap number 82. What a drive for Deke McCaskill. If he takes a championship this year, this is a night he looks at as a huge success and a pivotal point in his championship year. It's also a night I believe Tommy Lemons looks at and says we did not capitalize on an opportunity we had to really get in the thick of it.
Look how smooth he is right there on your monitor. You know, the car's not buckling at all. It's not shaking. This is what Josh Berry does. This is what Josh Berry is
Trouble, turn number 4. Lane Riggs goes around. And that is the one and only caution we have had so far here tonight. It appears the left rear tire is down on the number 99. So Dick Shirley Chevrolet pace car makes its way to pit road. Green flag is out, and a great restart by both Berry and Carroll. Berry on the inside, slides up the racetrack. Carroll sticks his nose in there, but he is stuck on the outside of the racetrack, and Berry gets away. That opens the door now for Myatt Snyder to work his way into turn number 3, but Berry slipped up that time off of turn number 4. 2 and 3 wide, nearly behind him as they race back off into turn 1. Look at Deke McCaskill. McCaskill pulling no punches, gets by Stephen Light, now working on Christian Eckes. 9 laps to go, and Deke McCaskill is trying to head to the front, while Justin Carroll just ahead of him, trying to, well, pretty much minimize the damage after being forced to start on the outside on that restart.
At this point, a top 5 or Deke McCaskill has to feel like a win. But looking
Whoa!
back,
Austin McDaniel sideways out of 1.
He nearly picked off a couple positions, did Deke McCaskill. A lot of action there in front of him.
And trouble, turn number 4, nearly, look at that, 3 wide. Eckes goes to the bottom, still contact as they head back to 1 as Carroll and McDaniel got together. Somehow Justin Carroll is going to hold on to that spot, it appears. What a save by all drivers involved, but now Eckes and McCaskill looking to the bottom. This is a great 6-car fight for the 3rd spot, all behind Josh Berry and Myatt Snyder, who have checked out over this battle. Still very impressed with Justin Carroll, the car control, the patience, and this might not end well right here. Turn 1 with a contact. He'll send Christian Eckes up the hill with Justin Carroll. Carroll reclaims 3rd with 96 laps complete. Look behind them. Deke McCaskill is there as well. Great battle for 3rd, great battle for 5th. Really, as we said, 6-8 cars all under a blanket as they head down the front straightaway. 3, white flag in the air for Josh Berry this time. 1 final trip around the Concord half mile. He's got 6 car lengths back to Myatt Snyder. After starting on the pole with a brand new track record, he relinquished the lead early, got it back soon thereafter, and Josh Berry has made the show all about him. 1 final try from Snyder in turn 3. Josh Berry is going to work his way off turn 4 to win the Lead 2 Real Estate 200 here at Concord. Justin Carroll will claim 3rd. Deke McCaskill, or check that, that's Christian Eckes 3rd, Deke McCaskill 4th, Justin Carroll 5th.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. This Saturday night, the Cars eSport Tour SNF Motorsports 200 about to see the super late models take to their 100-lap feature here tonight. A dramatic finish if you're just tuning in, and it was Josh Dietz able to take victory after a turn 1 and 2 contact between the dominant car, Matt Cucker, tonight. The 69 car who had led 74 laps of the late model stock feature was turned by the 58 of Dylan Rowe. And the number 9 series points leader able to capitalize on that and pick up another victory here in the late model stocks. But the super late models on the track now about ready to go racing, as we see a lot of the drivers there finishing up their cars ready to go. Let's take a look at the race information real quick here. 72 degrees in the air, 22% humidity, clear sky with a matching 72-degree track temperature. These drivers are going to have a lot of grip here at Richmond to fight their way around this track. Coming into tonight, it is still Christian Peterson atop of the series points, barely by 1 point over Josh Berry. Jeremy Adams back in 3rd, Cody McCauley 4th, Josh Dietz in the top 5, Stephen Matthews, Seth the Merchant, Daniel Pope, Satoru Ono, and Jeremy Allen, your top 10 for the super late models. Just 2 weeks remain after tonight, folks. We told you earlier, Lanier National Speedway next week, and the makeup race, South Boston on the 25th. Will be the final 2 races here in the Cars eSport Tour. And drivers, as you've seen tonight, can only imagine the fights and the battles that we're going to have in the super lights out here on the track. Looks like they are moving to the grid. Let's go ahead and get you that gridding action as they make their way out there. So on the pole tonight, it'll be the 63 of Brad Lawson. He'll have the number 9 of Josh Dietz to the outside. Dylan Rowe, Daniel Pope inside of that second row. Rounding out your top 5 inside of row number 3 is the 96 of Satoru Ono. Matt Cucker will be outside of that third row. Inside of row number 4, the 59 of Richie Davidowitz. Cody McCauley will be to the outside. Jeremy Adams and Daniel Williamson will be in row number 5 and rounding out your top 10. Looking on back, Bryce Senizak, Mason Dunn, Brad Carpenter, Ricky LeDuc, Scott Naslin through 15. Kyle Leverald, Patrick Fogel, Robbie Bundin, John Ouellette, Brandon Simmons through 20. Your field here tonight, Austin Coop, James Finn, Thomas Hazard, Christian Peterson, Wade Cheetah, and Tanner Cook, the 26-car field for the super late models and their half of the SNF Motorsports 200 here at Richmond International Raceway. The Mustang iRacing pace car begins taking them around for their first of a 2-lap pace. Where we get the green flag and go 100 laps of feature super late model race action here at Richmond International Raceway. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you check out carsracingtour.com to learn more about the Cars Tour. We're just the eSport Tour here, but the Cars Racing Tour website is a great place to learn about the 2017 schedule coming up. As always, check out carstour.tv for the great subscriptions. If you're not able to make it to the races, they do have some great subscriptions out there at a very, very modest rate to be able to capture the Cars Tour action with the super late models and late model stock divisions for the 2017 season coming up. We are about to get underway here as the Mustang iRacing pace car takes them through the backstretch. It'll be diving into the pits in turn 4. And Brad Lawson, the 63 machine, to take us to the green here tonight for the super late models. Race number 8 in the Cars eSport Tour. The Mustang iRacing pace car, as it heads into 4, dives into the pits. Here we go. Off of turn number 4 comes Dietz and Lawson. Green flag flies. We're off to the race.
All right, man. Caution is out.
And just as we were getting underway, caution flag comes out. And some heavy damage there. You see the 33 of Scott Naslund with some damage on his car. Go back and take a look. As we take a look at the initial start of the race here, folks. Checkup action, wow. And Scott Naslund slamming into the back of Brad Carpenter. The number 7 of Kyle Leverald is going to be hung up in Robbie Bunden as well. Looks like the 61 of James Finn got caught up in that action, but it is in the end Leverald and Naslund hooked up there. Oh, quarter panel to quarter panel lock there in the front stretch. Caution flag will come out on the opening lap. We should see the lights come off the pace car the next time by here. Brad Lawson, Josh Dietz, Daniel Pope, Dylan Rowe, and Matt Cucker, your top 5. Of course, we talk about Josh Dietz running in second position. Of course, he's the leader of the late model stock series. Again, picked up 3 positions after last week's finish at Concord. Currently finds himself about 38 points behind Christian Peterson in 5th position here for the super late models. Of course, Josh Dietz has 1 win with the super late models, 1 top 5 finish, and 3 top 10 finishes. Of course, the driver this year, Josh Berry, picking up 3 victories in the series. Won the opening night at Southern National back on December 3rd. Of course, Josh Berry winning again it was on January 7th at Southern National, so a pair of his victories came at Southern National. Then last week at Concord he won. So the lights come off the Mustang iRacing pace car here on lap number 7. Ready to go back green. It's going to be Lawson and Dietz up front, Rowe and Pope in the second row. To the third turn we go. We are ready for some racing here, folks. Brad Lawson gets the nod as the pace car heads into the pit. Here we go. He takes off. Green flag flies. We're back to the race on lap number 8. Daniel Pope looking to the inside of Josh Dietz in turns 1 and 2. Here comes Cucker trying to keep the 9 up to the high side. Dietz will settle up in third, coming across the start-finish line into lap number 9. Matt Cucker finds himself in 4th. Dylan Rowe side-by-side action with Cody McCauley. McCauley's going to swing by. He's going to move up, forcing Dylan Rowe back to 6th. Satoru Ono in 7th, right behind the 58 of Rowe. Now we see the 16 of Pope up to the high side. Here comes McCauley. McCauley looking to the inside of Daniel Pope in turns 1 and 2. Satoru Ono to the inside of Dylan Rowe. How about this? Side by side out of turn 2. And Satoru Ono now moves into 6th position right around Dylan Rowe. Now looking to the inside of Daniel Pope in the battle for 5th. What a fight that gentleman has had right here all season, that 96. Top 5 driver at Concord last week, looking like a solid competitor. Had a little bit of connection issues, was taken out of the race 3 laps down. The caution they had there last week was able to gain a few laps back, but just a heartbreak night into all that work he had put into that 96 machine. As we take a look back to the race lead, into the backstretch, the number 63 of Brad Lawson leads Josh Dietz by 0.3 of a second into turn 3. The number 69 of Matt Cucker in 3rd position. Cody McCauley back there in 4th. Cucker now looking to the inside of Dietz. Crossover move into 1. Wow! Josh Dietz with a little bit of aggression, trying to keep the 69 at bay. Will do so that time around, and now Brad Lawson sees some lap traffic ahead. Josh Dietz firing underneath, trying to pick up some real estate on the gap difference between him and Brad Lawson. Actually lost out as he went down the backstretch. Lawson still holding on to it. He did move up about 0.2 of a second towards the 63, but that also brought the 69 of Cucker closer to him, and now he's going to look underneath Lawson yet again. The car ahead is Patrick Fogel. As we see Lawson into the front stretch with Dietz right there with him. Matt Cucker back in 3rd. Dietz diving it down to the apron, and oh, he's going to dump the 63 of Lawson. Wow. The aggression pays dividends for Josh Dietz, and I'm not sure Race Control is going to bat an eyelash at that one. They are definitely, I'd be surprised if we don't see the number 9 get relegated to the back of the field on that. Let's go back and take a look. As we show you again, Josh Dietz looking to the inside. Right there, the contact clear as day. Makes contact, no checkup from the 9, is going to send the 63 of Brad Lawson right up the track. You're going to see Lawson hit the wall hard. It's going to create a rift amongst all the drivers trying to stay low as they naturally want to push to the wall coming off of turn 2. And a tough break there for the 63 of Lawson. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, as talked about, Race Control shutting the finger at the number 9 of Josh Dietz. And Josh Dietz, I believe this isn't the first time this season he's going to see the back of the field through penalty. Will get an EOL enforced and relegated to the back behind the number 7 of Kyle Leverall. One car out of this that is going to capitalize the most, the 69 of Matt Cooker, who, as if you watched the late model stocks earlier tonight, 74 laps led. Leverall will actually get a wave around here. We've seen the 7 car go by with some heavy damage on it. But Matt Cooker, 74 laps led earlier tonight, a solid machine, getting dumped pretty much at the same point we've seen Dietz and make contact there, the 63 of Lawson. Only it was the 69 of Tucker getting turned by the 58 back there, who's behind Satoru Ono, the 96 car. That was the 58 of Dylan Rowe. And again, tonight, these guys are fighting for every position to maximize their points with the final 2 races remaining after this week. And we'll see the 31 of Brad Carpenter come off of pit road. He's in 23rd position. Beats the pace car. Carpenter came in for a quick pit stop, quick by like 31 seconds. It's quick enough to get in and get out before the pace car made its way around. Of course, we're talking about 40 to 50 seconds a pace lap on the actual track, so it's not about 20 seconds. Still good enough time for him to get down and make a pit stop. Here's a look at your race summary. You got Tucker up front, 19 laps complete, 2 lead changes, 2 total cautions. Running top 5, Tucker, McCauley, Pope, Ono, and Rowe. As they cross the start-finish line into lap 21, the lights come off the Mustang iRacing pace car. We've got the 1-to-go signal ready to go back green on lap 22. McCauley will be to the outside of Cooker. Pope and Rowe will see the second row. Into the 3rd turn. Let's see the restart here from Matt Cooker. Is he going to get on the throttle or is he going to make him wait? Pace cars into the pits as they go through the 4th turn. Into the front stretch. He gets on the throttle. Green flag flies. We're back to the race on lap 22. Into the back stretch. Tucker leads the field by 0.3 of a second into turn number 3, but it's going to be closed quick. What a battle. Here comes Pope to the outside of McCauley. Cody McCauley to the inside groove in turns 1 and 2. He has Satoru Ono behind him. Ono tonight in 4th position, now looking to battle with Daniel Pope. Side by side will continue. Pope's going to swing the outside groove in turns 3 and 4 and remaining competitive. McCauley's going to look to clear him. He's going to push up to the wall. And wow, what a job done there by Daniel Pope to keep the composure and not make some contact there with the 62 of Cody McCauley. Ono now into third. Pope's going to fire back. They're going to be side by side. Into the front stretch, here they come. Satoru Ono will pick up third by a nose over Daniel Pope the second into lap number 25. And now Ono looking to edge out Pope. Here he comes into the backstretch. Has the lines in 1 and 2, but how about Pope to the high side? Dylan Rowe behind Satoru Ono. Quarter of the race complete here for the Super Lates at Richmond. Matt Cucker still in front of the field by 3/4 of a second over Cody McCauley. And now Kyle Leverall, lap traffic in front of Cucker, will swing wide. He's going to tag the wall. Side-by-side action. Ono's going to clear Daniel Pope. And whoa, did he have to thread the needle on that one. Daniel Pope had to thread the needle as Kyle Leverall to the high side of him. Dylan Rowe to the inside. Was able to get through that. And boy, Kyle Leverall, the lap traffic there, getting a little bit of a hiccup amongst the drivers. Still holding on to the outside line is Daniel Pope. Dylan Rowe's going to pass him on the inside here in turns 1 and 2. The 58 will move into 4th. The 16 finally comes back down in 5th position. And Satoru Ono now looking to gain some ground on Cody McCauley. He's running third here on lap 29. Looking to the inside of the 62 goes the number 96. Side by side for second as they come into the backstretch. Cucker ahead by 3/4 of a second. Satoru Ono to the inside of McCauley. A little bit of door locked action. McCauley trying to have some momentum on the outside. Will have it in the front stretch, but it'll be short-lived here in turns 1 and 2 as that'll bring the lower groove back up side by side coming out of turn number 2. Dylan Rowe nowhere to go with the 2 cars in front of him. Will decide to stay in the lower groove. Daniel Pope will actually come down right in front of Daniel Williamson. Ono still looking to the inside of McCauley here in lap 31. Firing down the backstretch, McCauley trying to edge out Ono. Wants to get in the lower groove, but he is working at it. How about the battle for second position? And McCauley looks like he's finally got the momentum, but back comes Ono. He's not willing to let this 62 get away from him. As they fire into turn 3, the number 96, TCP Japan machine of Satoru Ono, holding on to third, fighting for second. Dylan Rowe, eager to get around both drivers. And now Ono, staying consistent as he works to the inside of Cody McCauley. Perseverance paying off here for the 96. As he comes across the start-finish line, not quite in second, a little bit of a nose of McCauley. Will have second that time around, but here comes Ono, the fight for second position. Deadlocked between these drivers. Off of turn 4, McCauley yet again has got the line over Ono. Satoru Ono to the inside of McCauley. Dylan Rowe now going to look to the high side. He's going to dive it back down in turn 3 behind the 96. Daniel Pope looking to the outside line. These guys may have found something on the outside groove. But I tell you what, it's like these guys are deadlocked. Their racecraft tonight has kept them side by side, amazingly, and now Satoru Ono looked like he was going to try to clear McCauley, but that'll bring turns 3 and 4, bringing McCauley right back door level with Satoru Ono, but this time around he's got a nose, so he goes up into second position. Dylan Rowe down underneath McCauley as well, and I think the grip on McCauley's tires wearing thin. until you see turns 3 and 4. Scott Naslin working his way down pit road. McCauley fires back. What a battle between these two cars for second position. Dylan Rowe's going to make an aggressive move to the inside. And now Satoru Ono's forced up to the high side. Here comes the 58. Wow. Dylan Rose to the inside, but Satoru Ono may have seen the line that McCauley was running on the outside groove. McCauley comes back down. Now Ono's up to the high side of Rowe. He's going to look to come down. He's going to wipe the nose of Rowe. Back down into the lower groove. Stays in third position out of turn number 4. Heading towards lap number 39, or 40, excuse me. And now Daniel Pope's going to look to the inside of Dylan Rowe. These guys have been battling hard here tonight. Dylan Rowe. And again, lap traffic here as Kyle Leverall down on the apron. Heavy damage on that 7 car. Caught up in the first caution of the night on the initial lap. As we've seen some contact with Brad Carpenter. Ono's now looking to the inside of McCauley yet again. They're going to find themselves side by side in the backstretch. Satoru Ono to the inside of McCauley. What a battle. Nearly making contact in turn 4. To the outside, McCauley's going to prevail in turn 1. Not quite clear enough to come back down in the lower groove. Dylan Rowe. That eager 58 machine looking to the outside. How about this outside groove as Dylan Rowe's trying to push the 62 past the 96 of Ono, and now McCauley can come back down in the lower groove. Dylan Rowe thinks he's there too, but not quite. I don't think McCauley wants to come back down, but Dylan Rowe's going to come back down into turn 3. Right in front of the 96 of Ono. What a move. And Satoru Ono is going to look to the inside of Dylan Rowe. It's been a flip-flop between these 3 cars, and here comes Ono. Firing back to the inside of Dylan Rowe. Cody McCauley back to second, Dylan Rowe in third, Satoru Ono in fourth. Daniel Pope now looking to the inside of the 96. Ono's going to be up there with Rowe, nearly making contact with Daniel Pope out of 2. Wiggle action from the 16 of Pope. Here comes Richie Davidowitz into the mix as well. It's a 4-pack off of turn 4. Dylan Rowe fires by Pope. He's going to hold on to his third position slot into turns 1 and 2. Pope looking into the inside. Whoa, does he cut some track there, and he's going to pick up some maneuvering that'll help him gain a little bit on Dylan Rowe, but it's going to be faded away in turns 3 and 4. Daniel Williamson to the high side. Back behind Williamson is the 89 of Jeremy Adams. How about the battling here tonight? In lieu of all this battle going on, let's jump up and take a look at your race leader. The 69 of Matt Cucker, who has a 1.8 second lead over the field. All that battling definitely slowing the cars down back there behind him a little bit. This guy's just running away with it. 74 laps led in the late model stocks. He's got 31 here in the super late models. As we look back, capturing a battle here, starting with McCauley. Dylan Rowe looking to the inside. Satoru Ono back behind Rowe. As they come across the front stretch, Daniel Pope to the high side of Ono as they head into turns 1 and 2. McCauley trying to steer clear of the 58 of Dylan Rowe. And a swing wide by Rowe. That's going to make 3 wide action off of 4. Davidowitz to the inside of Pope. Pope fired like a bullet out of the middle of the 2 drivers. And now picks up 4th position right behind Cody McCauley. Satoru Ono in a battle with McCauley as it's been all night, trying to edge out that 62 machine. What a fight. As they work off a turn 4, possible contact. Contact with McCauley into Pope. Davidowitz now into the mix right there to the inside of Daniel Pope. Satoru Ono is now in 2nd position. Oh, Daniel Pope's going to see the wall out of 2. Dylan Rowe fires by the inside. That also brings Jeremy Adams in. Oh my, I believe that was, not sure if it was Daniel Williamson. I believe that was Williamson there, got into the apron. Wow, and Thomas Hazard pushed up into the wall. Let's go back and take a look. There's a little bit of contact there as McCauley was trying to come back down underneath Williamson. Right there, trying to get a line there on Adams. There you're going to see Daniel Pope really smack the wall in the backstretch as we continue to run the camera here for you. Look at the aggressive maneuvering here by Dylan Rowe, looking to the inside of Davidowitz. Heading into turn 3, he's going to be inside of Pope. Jeremy Adams will slow up there. And here we're going to see Daniel Williamson. Senizak is going to come up and almost, and he does, tag the bumper of Williamson. So it wasn't the apron that got the number 4 loose. Thomas Hazard, unfortunately, will have some contact here. Josh Dietz will catch a little bit of quarter panel contact from Hazard. Hazard's going to go up into the wall, head-on collision, and we'll see the number 4 of Daniel Williamson get spun out as well. So Williamson down on pit road currently. Cucker at that time had a 2.5-second lead over second position Satoru Ono. Definitely seeing some drama unfold late in this series for the Cars eSport Tour folks. Super late models running their 100-lap feature here tonight for the SNF Motorsports 200 at Richmond International Raceway. The hard work and perseverance, I should say, of the 96 of Satoru Ono paying dividends here on lap 54 as he's looking at second position. Back in third, Richie Davidowitz, Daniel Pope, and Dylan Rowe, your top 5. We'll show that to you on the screen there. Also, here's a look at your race summary out of the 54 complete. 38 led by your current leader, Matt Cucker. 2 lead changes, 3 total cautions. Into the back half of this feature tonight, and flashbacks I'm sure from the 69 of what happened earlier tonight. 74 laps led in that late model stock car was on a rail until the white flag lap when Dylan Rowe, the 58 machine, come up and turned him in turn 1. That allowed Josh Dietz to get by and to pick up the victory on the night, extending his 51-point lead over Tanner Cook. Lights off the pace car here on lap 56. Ready to go back green. Satoru Ono will be to the outside of Matt Cuckard. Richie Davidowitz, Daniel Pope will be your front 4 heading back to green. Here we go, pace car. Into the 4th turn, we'll dive it into the pits. Cucker ready to get on that throttle. Ono to the outside. Here we go. He gets on the throttle. Green flag flies. We're back to the race on lap 57. As we follow the cars in the backstretch, Richie Davidowitz able to get around Satoru Ono. Little checkup action there from Ono. Into the 3rd turn, he's pinched right now between Dylan Rowe. Dylan Rowe with a little bump and run action over Satoru Ono. As we see him work their way in turns 1 and 2. Ono now to the high side. That'll allow the 58 of Dylan Rowe by into 3rd. Ono falls back to 4th. Cody McCauley in 5th. Josh Dietz. And Daniel Pope will go at it. How about that three-wide action behind him? Going to continue through turn 4. The 23-year series points leader, Christian Peterson, now in the mix. Brad Lawson just ahead. John Ouellette, the number 30, to the high side. We'll now see the 12 of Wade Cheetah make his way underneath. Jeremy Adams taking a peek to the inside. Here comes Peterson. Daniel Pope to the outside. McCauley is going to get passed by Josh Dietz out of 2. Oh, and there's going to be a little bit of contact, getting that 9-car wobbly. As Josh Dietz passed McCauley but didn't have the speed to continue on. And Daniel Pope with a little bit of wiggle action there out of turn number 4. Side by side with Brad Lawson until turn 2. Lawson, oh, he's going to make contact on Pope. Around goes the 16. Oh, my. And that'll bring out caution number 4 here at Richmond. Got to see it live. We'll continue. We'll show it to you one more time, then we'll show you a different angle on it. And a move here. How about this? Right underneath the 16 of Pope. A little bit of contact with Brad Lawson, and the round will go the 16. Pope's going to spin out, and contact's going to be made. Not quite sure who he got into contact with. Looked like the 30 of John Ouellette. Right in front of the number 27 machine, and it looks like Tanner Cook. And I believe that was a 07 car that got tagged down there on the apron. That was Brandon Simmons. We'll go back. Let's go back and show you the replay here. We'll go on board with Brad Lawson here. Show you. Here's the fight to the inside. Into the front stretch. And again, turn 2 is where he's going to tag that Ford just ahead of Daniel Pope. Right about here. Just enough to get him loose. So Matt Cucker tonight, 47 laps led. About to be 48 here as we're going to cross the start-finish line into lap number 65. Davidowitz in second. Dylan Rowe, Satoru Ono, Josh Dietz, your top 5. Here's a look at the race summary for you here into lap 65. 64 complete, 2 lead changes, 4 total cautions. Matt Cucker, Davidowitz, Rowe, Ono, and Dietz, your top 5. If you haven't done so, folks, I implore you to check out carsracingtour.com to find more information about the Cars Tour and their upcoming 2017 season. If you won't be able to make an event, we definitely want you to check out carstour.tv. There they have past races on demand as well as live races. And a very modest subscription, I'm being told. It's definitely very, very competitive out there, and you'll be able to see the races that take place. If you can't make it there, hopefully you can. And as always, folks, if you haven't known or haven't been following much on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network, we've been airing the Bristol Hype coming up in May. Cars Tour will bring both their divisions there to race in the Short Track Nationals that'll be taking place May 19th through the 21st at Bristol Motor Speedway. as we see the lights off the pace car in the backstretch here on lap 66. Matt Cucker will set that pace coming back to green. It'll be Davidowitz to the outside, Rowe and Ono. Your front four. Here we go, pace car into the pits. As they work their way through that fourth turn, gets on the throttle, the green flag flies. We're back to the race on lap 67. Cucker edges out. He's going to have a 0.2 of a second lead in the backstretch over Davidowitz. Single file action from your front four as we look back. Jeremy Adams, Cody McCauley side by side. Christian Peterson, hard charger last week, looking to duplicate that effort this week. 24th on the grid. He's now running 8th here on lap 68, looking to the inside of Cody McCauley in the battle here for 7th, and he'll have it in the backstretch. Looking to edge out that 62 machine. He'll have it back behind McCauley, though. Lawson and Sinizak side by side coming across that start-finish line. Sinizak to the inside of Lawson. Continue their bout out of turn number 2 into the backstretch. There's the single file action from the drivers just ahead. The top 8, all single file, side-by-side action between these two continues out of turn 4, and it looks like Sinizak's going to win the fight there. And now Lawson, a little crossover move into turn 1, is going to force the 90 up the track. He's going to work the lower groove through turns 1 and 2. And now Sinizak, who looked to be up into 9th, will now fall back to 10th, and Brad Lawson has moved into 9th. Wade Cheetah back there outside the top 10 in 11th. Tanner Cook, the number 27 machine, back there in 12th, and yet again, Sinizak goes right around Lawson. Little payback crossover move in the same position that Lawson had done to him one lap prior. And the 90 machine now back into 9th position, right in front of the 63 of Brad Lawson. How about Davidowitz battling with Cucker for the race lead? Into the backstretch. What a drag race we have got to turn number 3. Oh, they're hooked up into the 3rd and 4th turn. Davidowitz has got a nose over Cucker. Here comes another lead change at the start-finish line into lap 73. Richie Davidowitz has scored his first lap lead here at Richmond. Matt Cucker has had 55 laps led in the super late model, 74 in the late model stock earlier, and he's not ready to give up that race lead just yet. Dylan Rowe, ironically, back behind Matt Cucker here into lap 74. Davidowitz to the inside. Satoru Ono holding back in 4th. And if I was Ono, I'd be patient, just as Josh Dietz was in the late model stock race. Any contact could possibly pave a way for a position gain. Coming across the start-finish line, 3rd lap led for the 59, and Davidowitz, and oh, there's contact again between Dylan Rowe and Matt Cucker. Side by side, Cucker's going to be with Satoru Ono, but uh-oh, how about this? Karma, hello Karma. The 69 of Cucker will be behind Dylan Rowe. And I imagine if he gets up to that bumper, we may see a little payback for that late model stock race here earlier tonight. Cucker goes around Ono. Ono's going to tag the bumper of the 69. As we continue to see the front 4 up ahead. Matt Cucker looking to gain some ground on Dylan Rowe. Back with Josh Dietz, a nice little battle here side by side with Christian Peterson. McCauley, Sinizak are going to have some contact in 2. Dylan Rowe now looking to fight with Richie Davidowitz for the race lead. Crossing that start-finish line, 6 laps led for the 59. Cucker pulling away from Ono. In lap 78, Dylan Rowe looking to escape the 59 to take the race lead. They're going to nearly make contact. The number 26 of Mason Dunn up to the high side as they go by in turn 4. Dylan Rowe takes over the race lead into lap 79, his first lap led of the night. Slow-moving car down low, I believe that was Robbie Bunden. And Continuing battle here for the race lead as Davidowitz to the inside of Dylan Rowe, forcing the 58 up the track, but Rowe will hang on to the race lead. He's got 2 laps led heading into lap 80. Matt Cucker about 0.7 of a second behind Dylan Rowe. As they cross the start-finish line, 20 laps remain here in race number 8 for the Super Late Models SNF Motorsports 200 here at Richmond International Raceway in the Cars eSport Tour. Your series points leader, Christian Peterson, looking to the inside of Josh Dietz in turns 3 and 4. Oh, they're going to have a little bit of door rub, and whoa, mama! We have the number 9 of Josh Dietz dirt tracking out of 4. He holds on to it, but the 62 of Cody McCauley is going to fire to the inside in turns 1 and 2, looking to gain an edge in the position here on the number 9 of Josh Dietz. Peterson will go up into 7th position. McCauley's going to follow by out of 4. Dietz will fall back to 9th, so the number 9 in 9. And it looks like Sinizak put some pressure on Jeremy Adams coming out of turn number 2. Dylan Rowe now has a 2/10, a quarter-second lead, I should say, over the 59 of Richie Davidowitz as they cross that start-finish line into lap 84. And Davidowitz with a little bit of a push. In third tonight, Matt Cucker at 55 laps led. Brad Lawson, as we jump back to 10th, currently running in 10th position, had 15 laps led of this race, and the driver just ahead had 1. That's Josh Dietz. A swing of the camera action there as we see the 58 of Dylan Rowe into the front stretch into lap 86. 15 laps remain in tonight's race. Davidowitz back in second, 0.3 of a second behind the 58 of Dylan Rowe. Looking out of turn number 2, Bryce Sinizak looking to run down Satoru Ono, who's just ahead in 4th position. Jeremy Adams back behind him. Peterson on the move, but how about the battle here between McCauley and Dietz? The number 9 of Josh Dietz going to fire underneath the 62 of McCauley in turns 1 and 2. Whoa. And a wiggle action from the 9 of Dietz as he tagged the apron through turn 2. Daniel Williamson smacking that wall coming off of the second turn. Brad Lawson going to fire by out of 4, passing the number 4 of Daniel Williamson. He's going to pick up 10th position, forcing that number 4 machine back outside into 11th. Dietz will get around McCauley. McCauley off the apron. Whoa, and he's trying to save it. Little wiggle action, has to get off the throttle to save it. McCauley's going to fall back to 9th as now Josh Dietz moves up into 8th. And Sinizak looking to pass Satoru Ono into turn 3, and he'll do so by the low side. To the 96 of Ono. Falls back. He's looking for a little crossover move in the front stretch. 10 laps will be the next time by remaining in the race here tonight. As Dylan Rowe sees Mason Dunn just ahead. Lap traffic. Davidowitz, 0.4 of a second behind him. 10 laps remain here at Richmond. Sinizak in 4th position, pulling away from Satoru Ono. Your series points leader, Christian Peterson, back in 7th. Not sure he's going to have the momentum to catch Jeremy Adams here tonight. Again, started 24th here on the grids. Currently running 7th. What a hard charged night for the 23. One of the few drivers that does not qualify, but yet has success. Amazing. take a look up at your race leader, the number 58 of Dylan Rowe off of turn 4 with 7 laps remaining now. About 4/10 to a half a second lead over the 59 of Davidowitz. Cucker back in third, about 1.7 seconds behind your race leader. As you can see, the camera shot heading into turn 3. Six to go for the 58. Senizak passes by Leveralt, the lap traffic. And how about this 90 machine starting 11th here tonight, up into the top 5, currently running 4th. Thomas Hazard, caution flag comes out, and I think that may have done it here tonight, folks, as Mason Dunn is going to be spun out. Go back and take a look. There we'll see Christian Peterson go by and Mason Dunn. The lap car up to the high side. Josh Dietz will pass by. Going to get in contact with the wall, and Williamson. So Dunn will get in contact with the wall. Williamson just staying right behind the lap car. I'm not sure why he didn't go underneath him there. But Dunn will be spun here with 5 to go, and I think we're not going to see another green flag here at Richmond. We'll have to wait it out and see. Three laps to go. I'm guessing that this one is over, folks. I believe Robbie Bunden's going to receive a wave around here on the pace car as he goes by to the outside. So unless the lights come off the pace car this time by, this one's over here in Richmond. And they stay on, so the next time by will be the white flag lap. We will not get another restart here tonight. Dylan Rowe will pick up victory. Richie Davidowitz in second. Matt Cooker third. Senizak will be fourth. And Satoru Ono will have a top 5 finish. Here's the look at your race summary. 98 complete. 4 lead changes tonight. 5 total cautions. Of course, quick look at your top 5 here heading into the white flag lap. Under the caution, the lights will stay on the pace car as the final white flag comes out tonight. A 23 lap sled here for Dylan Rowe. 6 for Davidowitz, 55 for Cucker. And as Dylan Rowe follows the pace car through turn number 4, staring down victory lane. He's going to cross. Fireworks are going to come in the air. Your winner tonight for the super late models at Richmond, number 58 of Dylan Rowe. There is the fireworks behind the backstretch here at Richmond. made his way to the front stretch. Do a little burnout for you. Your winner for the super late models here tonight, Dylan Rowe. And a very happy 58 car. Put up a heck of a fight with Matt Cucker in the late model stock race. Ended up finishing in the top 3. Picks up victory here at Richmond in the super late models. Bring up the results on your screen. We're going to get some driver interviews for you. Driver here had a little bit of tough break in the late model stock race here tonight. Led a total of 74 in the late model stocks. He led 55 here in the super late models. A little bit better performance in the late model stocks than you had in the super late models, but you do get a top 3 finish here in the super lates. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I mean, the car was feeling real good, and I was just out front. At one point, we had the 3-second lead, and I just thought I was saving enough, and come the end there, apparently I didn't save enough. Just a little over driving than I had to, and made one mistake when I was out front, and Richie capitalized on it, and yeah, just fell back, and that's all she wrote.
Well, a heck of a job to pull the car together to hold on to a third place finish here at Richmond. Is there any thanks or shout outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, I got to thank Team Vincier, iAnalyze, and Globalcom. Also want to give a shout out to my dad. He's watching. So, thank you.
All right, we'll see you next week at Lanier National Speedway, Matt.
Sounds good.
All right, folks, we're going to go live now to a guy who's fairly new to the series here. These last few races has been a dominant competitor in the top 5, and Richie Davidowitz, you got to be satisfied with the runner-up finish here tonight. Had some good hard-fought battle there, especially with Dylan Rowe. You led six laps here tonight at Richmond. Tell us a little bit about your race.
That's pretty good. We just kind of kept to the normal deal, sitting around there waiting to go. I felt good there at the end, just a little too free.
But you are holding on to it. So a little free at the end there. Is that what kind of kept you from keeping with Dylan? Is that some of the things you were looking at on the track and trying to find a different line to run?
Pretty much. He could just get into the corner a lot better than I could. I was just a little too loose in under braking, so it kind of limited me to what I could actually do. So if I could have gotten the corner as good from him, I think I could have kept up a little better pace there at the end.
Well, excellent job to get a runner-up finish here tonight at Richmond. Is there anyone you would give a thanks or shout-out to?
Just got to give a big thank you to everybody that helped out with this setup. Jeremy Allen, Daniel Pope, they gave me a good base to work off of. Along with Daniel Williamson, he gave some good ideas. I just kind of worked off what they had. Probably would have been better if I ran their setup straight up without my changes. I just ended up being a little too loose at the end.
Well, heck of a job done tonight. We look forward to seeing the 59 in action next week at Lanier National Speedway.
Thank you.
All right, folks, we're going to go live now to the number 59 of Dylan Rowe. And total here tonight, 23 laps led for you, Dylan. One point I got to make. At the point of you getting around Matt Cucker and the fight to get to Richie Davidowitz at the time, what was going through your mind? Was you expecting a little payback there from the 69, or was you just trying to hold your breath and get on by him?
Well, we're buddies, so I really didn't expect much. I expected him to race me hard for sure.
You guys, I think you did have a little bit of contact there, but nevertheless, you're able to get around him and fight with Richie Davidowitz for the race lead, and you have a total of 23 laps led here tonight in Richmond, and a top 3 finish in the late model stocks. We got two more races yet ahead, Lanier and South Boston. What do you think this 58 car is going to do in the super late?
I think we got as good a chance as anybody does. I feel like we should have been in victory lane a whole lot more this season, but due to circumstances, it just hasn't worked out the way. But I'm very thankful to get the win tonight. Feels good to be back in victory lane for sure.
Was there anyone you want to give a thanks or a shout out to for your victory tonight?
Thanks to Team Vince here. Thank y'all for broadcasting it, and Ty Barnes for doing the administrative work, and
All
and Louse.
All right. Well, congratulations, Dylan, on your victory here tonight. Race number 8 in the Cars eSport Tour. We look forward to seeing the 58 car back in action next Saturday night at Lanier National Speedway.
All right. Appreciate y'all.
There you have it, folks. What a night of racing. Dylan Rowe, top 3 finishes in both divisions, and will claim victory here for the Super Lates at Richmond. Richie Davidowitz will finish second. Matt Cooker will finish third. Bryce Sinizak, Satoru Ono will round out your top 5. Jeremy Adams, Christian Peterson, Josh Dietz, Cody McCauley, Brad Lawson through your top 10. Daniel Williamson, Wade Cheetah, Patrick Fogel, Tanner Cook, Thomas Hazard through 15. Robbie Pundit, Brad Carpenter, Daniel Pope, Kyle Leveralt, Mason Dunn through 20. Brandon Simmons, John Ouellette, Austin Coop, Ricky LeDuc, Scott Naslin, and James Finn, your 26-car field here at Richmond. And again, as mentioned, folks, coming up next Saturday night, race number 9 of the 10-race series will be at Lanier National Speedway. South Boston will be on the 25th. And with the great racing you saw here tonight at Richmond, you can only imagine what the next 2 races hold. We want you to check out carsracingtour.com to find more information about the Cars Tour coming up in their 2017 season. As well, check out carstour.tv as they have some great on-demand prices, or great prices for some on-demand and live racing coming up as well. If you'd like to know more about us, you can find us on the web at forgebroadcasting.com so you get our full lineup. Tune in each and every night. We do thank you for your viewership, however you got us. Whether it was YouTube or Cars Tour TV or iRacing Live this Saturday night, we do thank you for tuning in to watch the Cars eSport Tour. That is going to do it for us. We'll be back in action Monday night with the JSRL 360 Sprint Car Series. They're nearing the end of their season coming up, and we're looking for some dirt racing ahead. A lot of action to come here on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network, but that will do it for us this Saturday night, folks. I'm Dustin Caldwell saying thank you for tuning in to watch, and we'll see you Monday night. Good night, everybody.